welcome back to Alice Travel Channel. Finally, I keep exploring more and more beautiful cities in the world, and this trip is very special for me. Actually, every trip is special for me, but Paris has been my dream for over 20 years. I have no clue why I haven't visited this before, but let's see what it can offer. Early birds. It's 4 a.m. Mom wants to sleep. Me too. Me in a bed. My mom isn't a fan of early flights, but at least we can have the whole day ahead if we depart early. We arrived at Paris-Beauvais Airport and we were supposed to have a BlaBlaCar ride, but the guy cancelled at the last minute, so we had to take a shuttle bus to Saint-Denis. Karim, if you're watching this, just know it was rude. Paris is pretty big if we consider all the suburbs it has. The price for accommodation in Paris is insane, so we booked our Airbnb in one of the closest suburbs in the southeast. On average, it took us 15-20 minutes to get to the city center by the express train and 20-25 minutes by metro, so not that bad if we are talking about saving some cash. And certainly, the very first thing we do after checking in is having a late lunch at one of the local bouillons. Well, we had lunch. We are much happier at the moment, and yeah, we are ready to keep exploring Paris because we haven't even started yet. The first impression is good, like really good. I heard this expression that you either love Paris or hate it, and I didn't want to join the hater side. Well, this guy thought it would be funny, but whatever. I didn't have this little square on my list, but I thought it was worth checking. This impressive tower, standing at 52 meters, served as a meeting point for pilgrims traveling to Santiago de Compostela in Spain. In the 17th century, a famous scientist, Blaise Pascal, even used it to do an experiment on air pressure. Girls wanted to see Notre-Dame, so we had it right there. As you can see, they are not the only ones who wanted to go inside. The queue was huge, but we spent only 20 minutes waiting. I think everyone knows that the cathedral's iconic towers inspired Victor Hugo's famous novel, The Hunchback of Notre-Dame. What's more, it actually saved the cathedral from demolition in the 19th century. Back then, Notre-Dame was in need of help. The book's success caught public interest and led to major restoration efforts, including the addition of the famous spire. Construction of the cathedral began in 1163 and took nearly 200 years to complete. When walking inside, I think everyone has their own expectation, which might be very subjective. Personally, I enjoyed my little tour inside the cathedral. The interior is supported by massive ribbed walls and slender columns that create a sense of height and lightness. The nave can hold over 6,000 people, making it one of the largest church interiors in Europe at the time it was built. Inside, you'll also find the Grand Organ, one of the largest in France. It was originally built in the 18th century and carefully restored over the years, including the fire of 2019. I'm really glad I had a chance to come inside and see it myself, as the cathedral was reopened this year in 2025. One of the most sacred treasures housed inside is the crown of thorns. People believe it had been worn by Christ during the crucifixion. I didn't see it myself as I had no idea where to search for it, so any hints for the future? As you can see, lines are everywhere, even in the Shakespeare and Co. So book your time in advance and plan everything accordingly. A short walk away stands the Pantheon, originally built as a church dedicated to Saint Genevieve, the patron saint of Paris. Today, it's a mausoleum where some of France's greatest minds rest, including Voltaire, Rousseau, Victor Hugo, and Marie Curie. I really feel like I'm so sick. I can't even talk. I mean, my throat hurts so bad. I have a sore throat and I feel like really terrible. What's interesting, there were no women buried in the Pantheon until 1995, when the Pantheon actually broke the tradition and entombed physicist and chemist Marie Curie for her contributions to the study of radioactivity. The final activity on our list was a photo shoot in front of the sparkling Eiffel Tower at night. But first, we wanted to see what the pyramids of the Louvre look like during sunset. Little did we know. Wow, there's a thunderstorm and rain, heavy rain. I think it will be in a minute or so. 10 minutes after we arrived, the weather started getting worse and worse. There was literally no place to hide. It all looked like a sandstorm along with heavy rain and thunderstorms. The minute we decided to run from the Arc to the main building, it started raining so heavily that my hair and clothes got wet immediately. There was no way we used the metro to go back to our Airbnb. It was literally flooded. So we took a taxi and felt like we were riding among the Venetian canals.
Завтра будемо спати довго.
Завтра зранку дощ, якщо що.
Що ж, будемо спати довго.
New day, the same weather. Hopefully we won't experience the same experience as yesterday.
I dedicated the whole morning to finding the best spot for taking a photo in front of the Eiffel Tower. So let's check the first spot out. And we started with the Trocadéro Square. An interesting fact, the modern Olympic flame was first lit here in 1937, before traveling to Berlin for the Games. The sweeping view makes it a favorite for photos and evening strolls. The weather wasn't the best for content creation due to the clouds and bad light, but I didn't mind it.
Well, it started raining and yeah, we decided to hide in a cafe in front of the Eiffel Tower. Beautiful, nice, and very pleasant.
Five minutes away from the Trocadero, you can find the next photo spot on my list, the Avenue de Gaumont. Again, I wish there had been a little bit of sun that day, but I think you got an idea. No trip to Paris is complete without the Eiffel Tower. The tower was originally meant to stand for just 20 years. It was saved because it proved useful as a giant radio antenna, especially during World War I for military communications. Gustave Eiffel's company designed the tower as the entrance arc for the 1889 World's Fair, celebrating the 100th anniversary of the French Revolution. At first, many Parisians hated it and called it a monstrosity. I hear that some Parisians still think it's ugly and unnecessary.
Well, since it's our first time in Paris, I decided to skip the Eiffel Tower tour, going up to the summit or to the second floor. I don't know why, I just didn't feel like I wanted to do that. During my first time here, I decided to focus more on the exterior and the architecture, on, must-see places personally for me. I'm pretty sure I will do this Eiffel Tower tour next time because I feel like I would have to come back here 1 or 2 more times. I don't know. So, yeah, but let me know if I actually made the wrong decision.
And don't forget to look up when you're standing underneath. It's the best way to feel just how massive this iron giant really is.
Well, the tickets to the summit are already sold out, and it's a noon at the moment, and you cannot buy the tickets anymore. Interesting. So this is actually a very popular attraction. That's something to think about for next time.
It's high time to move from the left bank of Paris to the right one and see the heart of the city. For lunch, we chose a different bouillon called julienne, as we wanted to have different experience and try something new. The interior is interesting, I would say. I ordered chicken that was really delicious.
So, Place de la Concorde is a square where all of the executions held place. So, Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette were executed here. So, this is kind of a testament to their memory.
The large obelisk in the center of the square is over 3,300 years old. It was originally located at the entrance of the Luxor Temple in Egypt and was gifted to France in 1830. To get it to France, a massive operation was undertaken, and the obelisk was transported on a specially built ship.
Those people who have umbrellas are the smartest. Indeed, because the heat is just insane. I cannot stand it, literally. But there are some places here in the garden that might seem like a relief.
Just nearby stretches the Jardin de Tuileries, a historic royal garden designed in the 16th century by Catherine de' Medici.
I think everyone loves the opportunity to have a green oasis in the city because it's 33 degrees and we are melting. We are literally melting. And Jardin de Tuileries, I'm not sure how to pronounce it properly. It's an oasis indeed, yeah. But yeah, I just want to make a photo with these lovely chairs in front of a lake. I think it looks really beautiful. So let's see, and I will tell you about the history of this garden a bit later. So, Jardin de Tuileries is the public park, and it became a public park after French Revolution because before it was used as a garden for the palace.
The garden was the site of a bizarre hot air balloon race in 1783, where the Montgolfier brothers launched their first manned flight. This historic event took place in front of the huge crowd, making a new era of human flight. And finally, Louvre. Once a royal palace, it's now the largest art museum in the world, housing over 35,000 works. During World War II, many of the museum's most famous masterpieces, including the Mona Lisa, were secretly moved to various locations across France to protect them from the Nazis. The empty picture frames remained on the walls to give the illusion that the artworks were still there. I know a lot of you would judge me for not going inside, but we decided to skip the inside part and chose Versailles instead. But at least I have it on my bucket list for the next time.
An interesting fact, there are more than 480,000 exhibitions items here, and if you spend 30 seconds for each of them, you will need to spend 100 days to see all of the items.
We visited Paris in the end of June and witnessed a huge nationwide sale. Look at these prices, it's insane! Yeah, we didn't skip the shopping part. No, there was no way. Paris is a city that truly lives and breathes history. Each place I visited tells its own story, adding another layer to the magic of the city.